Hey all, hope you all are well and doing good. This is Dr. Jyoti Bala. In this session, we will be discussing about a very significant topic which many of early students and young researchers often ask to me. It's related to research, internship and project. Like mostly they ask how, where, when they should do research, internship and project, and what are the significance and the perk associated of doing research, internship and project, and how my student have recently got USA internships and master fellowship from USA, both at master level and graduation level. So we shall be covering all these topics. So let's get started. The agenda of this session will include few key points, like I will be describing and discussing about the difference between research, internship, project and training, as many of the young researchers and students are having confusion about these terms and when they should go for free or paid training. So we will try to cover that. So actually who should do these research, internship, project and training, at what level, when they should do, how they should approach and apply for these things. I will also try to give the example of my graduate and master student and how they have got US internship and US master fellowship after doing these projects and training. And then finally, I will be giving you the key takeaway messages also. Let's try to understand the difference between research, internship, training and project. If you are a young student like graduate or master or maybe young PhD student who are planning for study abroad, either at national level or international level, training and project will be very important. If you are a young PhD student looking for a job, for that purpose also, we have to get trained to upskill certain skill set based on which sectors we are planning to go in. And if you are a student who are looking for higher studies, so depending on your research interest, you have to upskill certain things. Especially training is important for those student and researcher who are planning for these higher studies and job. Especially in COVID crisis, what has happened, what we have also noticed, many of students are coming for these training and dissertations, internships. They are always complaining that their practical things are not going very smoothly. Many places the theory classes also got affected because of these things. So getting training at this moment is really very important so that you can understand your subject, what is going in the current scientific field based on your research interest. So getting a right training will be very important. So maybe if someone is interested in cancer research, someone is interested in virology, someone may be interested in basic biology to understand the molecular biology concept. So depending on all these things, we have to get trained so that we can get the ideas about those subject area in much deeper way. So upskills all these areas and skill set related to that. So training will be very important. Here you are not learning everything about the subject, but a few skill sets which is currently required in the market related to job sector, or maybe if you are planning for higher studies, depending on your interest and depending on the institute and the group where you are applying. So you have to enhance and upskill those skill set, like maybe molecular biology, experimental skills you want to get trained in, nanobiotechnology training you want to get in. These days biotech and bioinformatics, big data biology is important. So particular set of training you are getting. And yes, if you're coming to industrial set of training purpose, then you might also learn advanced training also. Like in my place, we also give aptamer trainings, molecular diagnostic training, nanobiotechnology related training and all these things. So what happened in the regular curriculum, you might not getting these training which are present in the industrial sector. So you can get these advanced training. Now coming to the financial set, if you are okay, then you can go for the paid training. Otherwise, there are a lot of academia institute which provide free training also. So for upskilling certain skill set, you can do research training. When you go to this research project purpose, here you have to understand and perform independent projects. So suppose you are interested in cancer biology. Cancer biology itself is a very big subject area. So in cancer biology, whether you are interested in basic biology, diagnostic, therapeutic, so you will be assigned a certain project depending on the duration. Maybe you came for 3 months, 6-month project. So based on that, you have to design your synopsis, you have to perform one independent project. So during your graduation master level, you will get the ideas how to run an independent project. You will get the ideas about how to write a scientific synopsis, thesis, article, and all these things, along with your presentation skills and all these things. So training and project, no doubt, is very important. And once you are comfortable with these things, then you can go for research internship, which will give you a real scenario, real projects. You will get the ideas about how in real scenario, both at academia level and institute level, you can perform these tasks. So let's understand who should do internships and project and training. As I mentioned in the last slide, if you're a student, if you are looking for higher studies, whether in India or abroad, for that purpose, you can do your research training and project. Like suppose you are doing biotechnology, but you are not very familiar with bioinformatics and big data biology. In that scenario, you can enhance your skill set related to bioinformatics and big data biology if you want to come to this sector. So according to your research interest, according to your career path, you may choose what skill set you want to enhance. If you are really very new, you have no ideas, then just look for consultancy or maybe your mentor, discuss with them and get the ideas what is currently required in the job sector and in scientific community. So based on that, you can upskill certain skill set. Like as you all are saying in current time, COVID crisis. So obviously not because of SARS-CoV-2, but prior to that also, infectious biology, infectious diseases are a very relevant subject area where many scientists and researchers will be required. So getting training in virology, microbiology, infection disease will be important. Similar, cancer biology is very significant. And it's not like only we have to go to applied area or translational area only. We have to understand basic biology also. So if you have interest in molecular biology, so we have to understand these mechanisms, biochemistry related projects also. So whether you want to enhance your skill set for basic level or translation level, applied level, depending on your interest, depending on the discussion with your mentors and seniors, or maybe with industrial people, you can get those ideas. So if you're a student, for your highest training purpose and for your study abroad program for job purpose, you can start getting trained and by doing these training and project and internship also. If you're a young researcher or maybe scientist or industrial professional also, you may also get trained, because you all are seeing that technology is advancing both at wet lab and dry level. So at current time, upskilling all these things is the need of hour. So especially in biology, biotech sector, as we all have to deal with lot of experiments, lot of biological data, we also require to get upskilled with both wet lab techniques and dry lab related tools, software, and all these things. So getting a right training and internship, maybe for student level you may choose project and internship, but training both a student, academia level, at industry level, we all can do. As we have said, that student, both graduate and master level, young PhD, scientist and academia, everyone needs certain kind of training based on what level we are coming in. So let's understand when we should do these kind of training and project and training. Let's discuss about students first. So if you're a student, especially masters and graduate level, if you are planning for higher studies, then So at many colleges and universities, what happens, they themselves provide internship and dissertation. They contact with industry people and different institute, and they arrange your mini project, dissertation and training for you. If suppose your institute and universities are not providing those training, depending on your financial status, maybe you can approach universities, industry. You can either opt for paid training, or maybe you can try and get the fellowships and training also. Like I have mentioned, I have made one video where I have given you the scientific agencies and funding agencies who provide all these internship for your training purpose, also for fellowship, for international award. So you may check out that video also, like DBT, DST and many other institutes, sorry, funding agencies. They do provide all these scholarships and fellowships. So depending on your financial status, you may either opt for paid one, or you may directly approach the supervisor and institute, and you can avail those fellowships and scholarships also for your training purpose. If you are a young PhD also, most of the training you are already getting while you are performing the PhD and your real experiments in your lab. But along with that, if you think that okay, you want to go for higher studies, or maybe you are looking for a particular lab, just look for their group leader, their publication, and accordingly see what kind of experiments they are doing. And based on that, if you are not getting those kind of expertise in your laboratory, in your university and institute, try to approach some collaborator, try to approach different lab and supervisor, and based on their interaction you can ask them that you are interested in learning these skill set and these experiment, and thereby you can certain skill set, certain experiments you can learn. So at young PhD level or during your PhD level, you can approach different institute and collaborator, or maybe if you are financially okay, then you can go for paid training also, for depending on what kind of experiments and trainings you want. For academia and scientist purpose is like, it's our best depending on at what stages we are in. We may also upskill certain skill set depending on if you want some promotion, if you want to perform different research project, or maybe wanting to apply for some startup or grant. So at different stages, what kind of interest we have, we can get trained depending on what experiment, what advancement is going in our scientific community. The next question which arises is how we should apply for these internship training and project. If you're a student, maybe graduate or master level, you have few options. Like you may either go for free option, because I have already mentioned that in India also we have different funding agencies and scientific bodies which provide different kind of training, fellowships and scholarships related to these kind of training. They also provide fellowships for your international and national level conferences and workshops. So utilizing those scholarships will be very important. You may apply for these things timely. You may visit all these sites. So I will provide the description of that video in the description section. You may watch that video. If you are financially okay, you can go and do paid training also, depending on what kind of skill set you want to learn, depending on your research interest. So availing these fellowships training will be very important. You may also approach directly to the research group, scientists and faculties if they are doing that kind of experiments. By collaboration, maybe your supervisor can talk to those mentors and directors and dean, and based on mutual understanding, you can get the training and dissertation in a particular government lab, also in private labs also. If you are a faculty, maybe you are getting trainings, grants and all these things. For you, you have both the option. You may choose free training also, paid training. Just because we are faculty doesn't mean that we should not get trained. As I mentioned, technology is advancing, so we can also learn new techniques, new tool set, software, what is happening in wet lab and dry lab. Many of young scientists and faculties are also getting training under my supervision related to aptamer project, bioinformatics training, and drug designing. So those people, those faculties, those scientists who doesn't have these skill set, they still want to learn these things so that they can get new grants, new opportunities. So at faculty level also, we can also get trained. I also try to learn as much I can. And then at faculty level, you can also utilize these funding agencies to conduct training and workshop, because DBT, DST, CSI, they also provide these funds so that you can arrange these kind of webinar, workshop, training, project things for your students. So avail those things. And then industry and academia level collaborations and lot of training and fellowships are provided for that purpose also. So faculties can utilize these things for themselves also and for their students also. And at industrial level, because you are getting paid, sometimes your companies and corporate sector are arranging training for you, things are much I think in much better scenario, not challenging. Yes, for student it is bit challenging because that time they are not earning, they, and there's a lot of competition also for getting the fellowship. So timely you have to apply at the student level. For faculty and industry level, things are a bit easier than the student level. So let me give you a few example of my student and how they have got this US internships and master fellowship. So one of my student, Venus, she was a graduate student from basic biology field. She was not having any idea about bioinformatics. She was bit forbid to run drug designing project in the initial stages, although we trained her first with the bioinformatics and then to this drug designing project. So finally she was good in performing those tasks, and based on that she got approximately 12 lakh of master fellowship from USA. So in her project we have taught her how to perform independently a project related to drug designing. So first we have trained bioinformatics and structural biology, molecular docking, and all those skill set first, trained her in the tools, software, and everything, and then based on that we gave her a project so that she can run the independent project. So there she have done her project synopsis writing, thesis writing, and project writing, and how to give the presentations for their, for her project related thing. So all these things were taken care of. And the other student, Mohit and Meenu, she was very good student of mine. So they were not the part of study abroad, but they were doing project related to me. But as they were doing project related to aptamer technology, as I have already mentioned in few of my videos that I do have experience, 15-year experience in aptamer technology. And aptamer technology itself has a diverse application, various application in therapeutics, sensor, bioimaging, diagnostic. So based on that aptamer training, they got the placement, US internship in Aptogen company. So they, that interview, that training, everything we have provided for that purpose. And other student also got their US fellowships and Japan Max fellowship based on their training. So to summarize everything, I would like to highlight few points. Like whenever you are applying for these training and internship and project, you should always keep this in your mind that for what purpose we are applying, where we are applying, and based on that we can make our specific cover letters, SOPs, and you have to write a perfect CVs also, because for these kind of applications, especially if you are applying these training and project with fellowship and scholarship, you have to provide some CVs, recommendation letter, and all these things. So timely apply for these fellowships and scholarships. Make sure that your cover letter, SOPs, and resume is well documented. So timely apply all these things, discuss with your seniors and mentor. And financially, if you are okay, you can either opt for industry based, corporate based trainings also. So depending on your skill set, depending on your research interest, what you want to enhance, why you want to do these things, you should do training, project, and internship. If you found the video and information relevant and useful, then I may request you to share these information among your scientific friend, endeavor, and students. If you have any query, you can drop me a message or email. I would be more than happy to help you. And any one of you who are interested in training and project and internship, for that purpose also, you can drop me a message or mail and send your resume. Thank you.